Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we'll be exploring real property. We'll cover the basics of what property is. First of all, when we talk about property, it is important to understand that property can be both tangible or intangible. Your intangible property is a building, for example, or a wallet, something that you can touch. However, an intangible property is a property that you cannot touch. For example, you can think of a trademark or a patent. Those are examples of intangible property, which we call intellectual property. Key to understand that in property, we talk about possession. Possession occurs when a person has dominion and control over the property that they have. For example, if you have control and dominion over your house, that is a right that you have of possession. A title is a form of ownership that in this case, a title holder has. For example, a owner or purchaser who purchases a house will have a title to that house. Now, the title can be shared or divided among multiple owners in different proportions. For example, you may have a property whose owners have different ratios of percentage of ownership. For example, A may own 50%, B and C each may own 25%. Property rights. Property rights refers to the right to possess, in this case, have control and dominion of the property, right to use, that is using the property according to the owner's desire or need. And both right to possess and right to use may be limited by a conveyance, law, or covenant. Right to exclude, in this case, uh, the right to allow who enters the property and who stays out of the property. The right to transfer the property, which is in this case during conveyance, which is divided into the right of gifting the property and the right to sell the property. And both rights are also limited by conveyance or covenant. In this case, the right to exclude and the right to transfer also limited in a certain way. Schism indicates possession of an estate. It's a terminology that was developed in common law that is debated within the academic spheres of legal discussions. So it refers to really the possession of an estate. Now let's move over to types of estates. We talk about when it comes to estates, we have freehold and non-freehold estates. Now, freehold estates are those that are owned. For example, a house. You may own a house. That's a freehold estate, that type of ownership. We have non-freehold estates. These are estates that have only possession. For example, if you rent a property, now renting the property shows that you have a non-freehold estate. You have possession of it, however, you do not own. Freehold estates may have schism, while non-freehold estates do not. Now, this goes back to the meaning of schism, which we will discuss a little bit later in the next video. Now, the types of estates can also be present or future. A present estate is one that currently exists. A future estate or future interest is an interest that can be claimed in the future. For example, to A for life, then to B. When the conveyance is made, in an example above, A has a life estate and B has a future interest that in this case he will claim or have possession of it in the future. The sources of real property are common law, statutes, and reinstatements and models.